I get it when you're thinking about turning your backyard into a real-deal outdoor kitchen. The idea of splurging on a massive island can feel like stepping into a financial minefield. You picture yourself juggling a grill, a fridge, maybe even a pizza oven, and wonder if you'll end up with a gorgeous centerpiece or a half-finished mess that just takes up space. That hesitation is what keeps most people from even looking at a product this big. I've been in that spot more than once, scrolling through specs, trying to picture the daily routine, and worrying about whether the price tag actually matches what you'll get back in convenience and enjoyment. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Mont Alpi 120-inch Deluxe Outdoor Kitchen Island tries to solve all those worries by bundling a 32-inch 4-burner gas grill, a sink with a faucet, a side-burner pizza oven, a charcoal tray, a griddle plate, and even a refrigerator into a single stainless steel slab. At first glance it sounds like the ultimate all-in-one solution, but the real question is whether that everything really works together in the way you need it to on a typical weekend. Let's start with the layout. The island's 120-inch length is essentially a kitchen counter that you could walk along while you're cooking, which is a huge plus if you often entertain more than a handful of guests. The grill sits at the far end, giving you a clear line of sight to the sink and fridge, which are positioned just a few feet away. In practice, that means you can flip burgers on the grill, rinse your hands at the sink, and grab a cold drink from the fridge without having to dart across the yard. For anyone who likes to keep the cooking flow moving, think of families that do a mix of grilled chicken, sautéed veggies, and a side of sautéed onions on the side burner. This proximity cuts down on the front-of-house forest moments that can ruin the vibe. One of the most practical strengths I noticed is the double-lined grill hood with a temperature gauge. In real life, that gauge lets you keep an eye on the internal temperature without opening the lid and losing heat, which is especially helpful when you're trying to smoke something low and slow, like a brisket. The 4 tubular burners are spaced evenly, giving you room to set up separate zones: high heat for searing, medium for chicken, low for veggies. The side burner pizza oven is a neat addition, but it's not a full-size wood-fired oven. It's more of a compact stovetop that can reach the high temperatures needed for a thin crust, provided you give it a few minutes to preheat. If you've ever tried to make a pizza on a standard grill, you know how finicky that can be. Having a dedicated burner for that purpose means you can keep the main grill at a lower temperature while the pizza oven does its thing, which is a subtle but real convenience. The built-in sink with a faucet might sound like a luxury, but it actually solves a common pain point: cleaning up while you're cooking. Most outdoor kitchens force you to either bring a bucket of water or wait until you're done to wash dishes inside. With this island, you can rinse off grill grates, wash your hands, or even fill a bowl for a side salad without stepping back into the house. The faucet runs on the same 110-volt electric motor that powers the other accessories, which means you won't need a separate power source, but you do need a nearby outlet or a properly installed outdoor circuit. Now, the refrigerator. It's a compact unit, not a full-size fridge, but it's enough to store a case of beer, a few condiments, and a small batch of pre-marinated meat. The real win here is that you can keep perishables right at the cooking station, which is a huge time saver when you're juggling multiple dishes. For larger gatherings where you'd need a bigger cooler, you might still have to bring in extra refrigeration, but for most weekend barbecues it hits the sweet spot. On the flip side, there are a few trade-offs that become apparent once you start looking at the details. First, the island is heavy. The stainless steel construction gives it a premium feel, but it also means you'll need a solid, level foundation concrete slab or a sturdy deck. It's not something you can just bolt onto a wooden deck without checking the load capacity. If you're renting or have a less permanent yard setup, this could become a logistical headache. The installation isn't a DIY weekend project for most people. You'll likely need a professional to ensure the gas line is properly hooked up and the electrical components meet code. Second, the gas conversion. The grill comes with a propane hose and regulator out of the box, but the specs say it's natural gas convertible. Converting to natural gas isn't a simple plug-and-play. It requires swapping out the burners and adjusting the regulator. If you're already set up for natural gas at home, you'll have to factor in the